why do you think that some children actually do grasp ideas quickly and are able to shift attention smoothly, solve problems with unusual accuracy for their age?
Wow, that always amazes me, right? When you're speaking with a 3-year-old and they can tell you about their weekend with such detail and clarity, and you are just like, what? And then they ask you about your weekend, and you're like, what kind of reciprocal conversation skills? Wow, it's amazing every time that you're able to interact with a student that just kind of has a little bit extra in the way that they present their conversation. You can, yeah, you can kind of tell that. So I don't know. Besides the excitement of communicating with them, how can we hone in on that, right?
Right, right, exactly. Again, observing, and you do it again. I feel that often I sound like a broken record, but it comes back to that early, like you notice it early in the early childhood years. You can just tell in the way oh, this child's obviously processing things a lot more advanced than typically we see at this age. And
Mm-hmm.
whether it's vocabulary or detail remembering. And I think it is definitely, again, our brains are wired differently. So it is clearly showing, as again, they show in this study, in the systematic review, that gifted children, generally do outperform their peers, right? In
Mm-hmm.
cognitive domains, verbal
Right.
working memory. They're able to memorize and remember things with a lot more accuracy and detail. The amount also generally is very impressive. They tend to outperform also in inhibition, which I think is also key. They're not, oh,
Yes.
what if I can't do it? Or, oh, I don't know, I don't want to do it. Try it because I might not be able to. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
gifted children tend to not have that as more. They tend to be more open to trying new things. They're kind of hungry for that. Ooh, is it a challenge? It's something different. Give it to me. Right. So
Yeah.
they're even the way their spatial reasoning, geometric problem solving, and that attention switching and information processing tends to happen much quicker, tends to happen at a higher level. Accuracy and reaction time kind of a trade-off, they tend to outperform their peers.
Mm-hmm.
In just the way that their brain lights up and the way when you feed them problems, they've been able to measure, their brain activity and see that it is heightened in children who are gifted over sort of your controls or maybe average neurotypical functioning, brain. So there literally are, it literally is wiring in our
Mm-hmm.
brain and
Yeah.
functioning that really the gifted children show difference in. That kind of does lead them, I think, to be able to take in the information quicker, to be able to process it quicker, and to be able to really hold on to it and transfer it quicker. Whereas other children, it's not that it's not possible for them to do, but it maybe happens at a slower rate. It maybe happens, it maybe takes more repetition, rather than seeing it one time and having it down. It might take more repetition. And again, different modes of teaching, more reinforced teaching than a gifted child because their brain is just wired differently and they're going to be processing things faster.